Hello everybody. Let us open now a very interesting area, the correct pronunciation of the scientific names of chameleons. But at first let me share a funny story. It was some decades ago. I was still a student of biology and I attended a conference. The lectures were very interesting and one started very funnily. The colleague shared some thoughts about Gersers major. And we the hell did not know what he means. The Gersers major, we said, well, what was it? It's an animal or is it a military function or what the hell it is? And it took several minutes before he showed the first picture to find out that actually he meant Gerhosaurus major, which is a nice lizard living in Africa. So there is a huge distinction between Gersers major and Gerhosaurus major, of course. Where these confusions come from? About 250 years ago, a genius, a very educated and smart scientist from Sweden, the Carl von Linné, wrote a groundbreaking book called Systema Naturae, where he made an attempt to organize all the surrounding environment from the stones and rocks and minerals over the plants to the animals. And he proposed for naming the animals the so-called binomial nomenclature, which consists of two names. The first is the gender name, and the second is the species name. As he was very versed in Latin, and in that time Latin was the noble language of the educated people, he wrote this book in Latin, and of course his proposal was in Latin, and it stays until now as the rule that the scientific names, which are much better for the use in conversations because they have very strict rules how to be applied to the species so that there is no confusion. They are used until now in the scientific area, but also in the layman circles. In Latin, everything sounds quite noble and correct. And let us see what happens if we listen to some people calling the names of chameleons in different languages and accents. So we can hear, for instance, the French Cameliocalyptratus, or a terrible for English Trioceros jacksonii zandalophus, or Italian Furcifer labordi. It might sound funnily, but it is no fun at all, because really people then do not know what the heck you are talking about. And this is why I would like to invite you to an excursion into the right pronunciation of the Latin names. Let us start with the generic names. So, the first genus is called Brookesia, not Brookesia. Second is Paleon, not Paleon. Third is Archaeus, not Archaeus. Fourth is Bradypodion, not Bradypodion. Next is Kaluma, which is usually expressed properly. Then Chameleo, not Camellia. Then Furcifer, not Forcifer. Then Kinyongia, this is usually spelled normally. Nazicambia, or further Rhampholeon, not Rhampholion. Or next one, Ripeleon, not Ripelion. And last but not least, Trioceros, not Trioceros. Some Latin names have specific meaning, like they belong to certain area, like for instance Chameleo africanus, Chameleo arabicus, or refer to some of their feature like Chameleon calcarifer or calyptratus. And some are derived from the names of people, which bring the most confusion because they offer then these names two versions how we can pronounce them. Either we just Latinize the ending and refer to the names in the original form, like for instance Kinyongia Böhmei, named after Wolfgang Böhme. You can call it Kinyongia Böhmei, or you read it correctly in Latin, like Kinyongia Bohemei. The next example is, for instance, Trioceros jacksonii, that you can spell Jacksonii because it was named after the Colonel Jackson, or you can read it in Latin, like Trioceros jacksonii, but in no case Jacksonii. All right? So let me now to go through a list of the most common names that you can meet in chameleonology and tell you what will be the correct spelling. Let's start. Brocchesia brigoi, Brocchesia minima, Brocchesia perarmata, Brocchesia stumpfi or stumpfi, Brocchesia superciliaris, Archaeus tigris, Bradypodion damaranum, Bradypodion pumilum, Bradypodion setaroi, Bradypodion tamnobates, Bradypodion transvalense, Caluma bedgerii or boetgerii, Caluma brevicorne, Caluma crypticum, Caluma gastrotenia, Caluma globifer, Caluma linotum, Caluma maltae, Caluma oshaugnesi or ojaugnesi, Caluma parsonii, Caluma parsonii Christifer, Chameleo africanus, Chameleo arabicus, Chameleo calcarifer, Chameleo calyptratus, Chameleo chameleon, Chameleo dilepis, Chameleo gracilis, Chameleo namaquensis, Chameleo senegalensis, Chameleo ceylanicus, Furcifer antimena, Furcifer balteatus, Furcifer bifidus, Furcifer campani, Furcifer labordi, Furcifer lateralis, Furcifer major, Furcifer minor, Furcifer austaleti, Furcifer pardalis, Furcifer peteri, Furcifer verrucosus, Furcifer viridis, Furcifer wilsi or wilsi. Kinyongia Böhmei or Bohemei, Kinyongia fischeri or fischeri, Kinyongia maciei or matschiei, Kinyongia multituberculata, Kinyongia oxyrhina, Kinyongia xenorhina, Nazicampia mlaniensis, Rampholeon acuminatus, Rampholeon boulangeri or bowlengeri, Rampholeon spectrum, Rampholeon spinosus, Rampholeon temporalis, Rampholeon viridis, Ripeleon brevicaudatus, Ripeleon kerstenii, and finally Trioceros biteniatus, Trioceros cristatus, Trioceros deremensis, Trioceros elioti, Trioceros henelii or henelii, Trioceros jacksonii or Trioceros jacksonii, including Trioceros jacksonii xantholophus, Trioceros johnstoni or johnstoni, Trioceros melleri, Trioceros quadricornis, Trioceros quadricornis gracilior, Trioceros rudis, Trioceros serratus, Trioceros sternfeldi or sternfeldi. This is how these names should sound and should not sound in a different way that can be perceived as fun or a little bit stupid. As you see, it is very easy and simple, so I hope we can exterminate the expressions like Trioceros jacksonii xantholophus or Ripelian brachicaudatus. Let us be precise and let us follow the Latin grammar and Latin rules of the pronunciation. Stay tuned.